All right, everybody, you've waited for it. You've been patient for it. And like a California wildfire, we have set ablaze our 2025 as we bring you episode number, didn't check before we started, of Lights Out. We're back for 2025. And let me tell you something right now. It's going to be different, okay? And what do you mean, Big Phil? What do you mean it's going to be different? What's going to be changing the pace and the course of this episode, this franchise, this global phenomenon? To be determined, as per usual. But I'm not alone. I got Cosmos, the Hispanic Black Wonder. I got Light, one of the 4 horsemen officially now. And we
Wait. Can we go back real quick?
What?
When you said you got Cosmos, the Hispanic Black Wonder, I'm like, wait, that's me.
Well, you can't have
that's actually literally him.
You can't have that and be a horseman, bro. You got to pick a title.
So you were either Hispanic and Black.
You can say the Hispanic Black Horseman.
Okay, the Hispanic Black Horseman, Light, and then Cosmos. So what does that make you?
Hispanic Black Japanese.
But you're not actually Hispanic.
I'm not actually Japanese either. Do you think I'm not Black either, bro?
The tragedy.
It's a scam.
It's a scam.
You know, I had this rehearsed in my head. It was going to be just such a beautiful opening.
Maybe you should have thought about whether you want to retcon your friends or not. Like,
I didn't retcon it. You just don't stop yapping. But that's why we have a podcast, so it's okay, I suppose. Hi, and I'm EE. Well, I guess I'll just start with the usual. How are my gentlemen doing? I'll start with you, Cosmoney. Talk to the people.
I'm doing great on, by the way, episode 88 of the podcast. We got 12 more till a big 100, so that's definitely going to be fire. But yeah, I'm doing great. I've been practicing Smash more recently because I got some tournaments coming up. We're going to talk more about that later on. And then also I've been back into making YouTube videos. Like YouTube has been popping. It's been doing very, very well recently. So I feel like I'm back on top, back to the stream grind. So everything is moving on up, bro. I'm just very happy to be alive.
I'm very happy to hear that, of course. Now, Light, talk to us, buddy. How are you doing? I can only imagine how giddy you're feeling right now.
There are so many good and bad sides to like how my 2025 has started. The bad sides of things, I'm poor. I'm fat and
relatable. Well, kind of relatable.
You're not fat. I'm poor. I'm fat, and I got a computer desk that is just not cooperating with me. So I'm gonna get a different computer desk, which is why I'm on my temporary setup, which probably sounds better than the setup I've been using for the last 6 months, actually. Other than that, on the good side, top 4 in the world, got 4th place at LMBM, which I think I played terrible that entire event. So I guess I can't really be too upset with that.
How did you lose to the Buzz, bro?
I forgot how to fight Rosalina.
Yeah, fair.
And then I destroyed him in the run back because I watched 2 VODs on how to fight Rosalina.
Can I tell you something, Light? And
yeah.
I didn't tell you this at the tournament because it was just like weird. But when I went down to the bar with Void, and you were starting your match with Wrath, and I went to the bathroom, I came back, and I just like barely saw on his screen it said like 2-1. But like I guess I read it wrong. I was like, wait, Wrath is up 2-1 on Light, and then the match finished, and like he shook his hand. I was like, wait, Wrath beat him? And they were all like, yeah, we can't believe it. So the entirety, I left there like going to console you, and I see you upstairs like sitting down. And I don't know if you realize I didn't really say anything. I think I said to you like, so how do you? I said like, how do you feel about your performance? Where it was like, you're like whatever. And I was like, I don't really know how to approach this. He might be mad because you had taken out your phone and you're watching your VOD, your match against the Buzz earlier. And I'm thinking to myself, why is he watching this? Like, does he just want to put himself through this pain? Like, you're out of the bracket. Like, go enjoy New York or something, you nutcase. And then like you get up and you go downstairs and I'm like, I guess he wants to watch the next match. And I see you walk on stage and I'm like, what? He's still in the tournament? And then Void just pops up. He's like, you didn't know? It's like, what the fuck? Like, I completely for like a good 15 minutes thought you were out of the event and didn't want to bother you because I didn't know how to like approach the situation. I'm glad you beat Raph though.
Fun. I beat him 3 times this weekend. I beat him twice at the pre-local, then I beat him at the major. It was very funny.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean, he still did pretty good. I'm happy that he got top 8.
How'd you do at the pre-local?
I played terrible, but I got first. I'm not being like
this guy, bro. I hate this guy so much.
Number 10.
Like, I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if people think I'm jotting, if I'm making excuses. I don't care. I just know when I'm playing good and when I'm not. And I know when I'm winning because I'm smarter than someone in the game compared to whether I'm just playing at my best. And I think I outsmarted a lot of people this weekend. But that being said, I don't think I played relatively well. I don't know if I would have been able to beat Sparg0 this weekend. I don't even know if I would have been able to beat Hurt this weekend. Like, I was not playing well. And I also feel like I was playing a bit scared because of the rankings. I feel like it got to me a little because I feel like there was a lot of times where I could have made adjustments that I just chose not to because I was a little scared to. Like, I know why Syrup like beat me, and it was the exact same reason that he took game 1 off me like a week ago, right? But when that happened, I wasn't as scared to make changes because we were at a monthly, and I was like, okay, well, he's doing this, I can just make these changes. But again, I was close to the pot, and I was close to first place, and like I just got overwhelmed, and I knew what the changes were, but I was struggling to change them because I was just kind of scared, and I feel like, I mean, he had it. He wasn't scared, and that's why he won. But even so, I feel like I would have to think a lot less if I was just playing to the par or to my standards. I don't have to think as much as I'm playing as good as I usually play because, I mean, it's just how I am. But I'm trying to work hard to get that back. I took a 2-day break. I'm going to start playing again today because I feel like I've been overwhelming myself with Smash, so I need to take a 2-day break. But I start up again tonight, and then I have a training session tomorrow, and I'm going to keep playing until on my next event.
Is there like a local or something you're going to tonight or just practice?
I'm going to be practicing with CPUs tonight. I have a session going on tomorrow where I'm inviting some people to my house. My next weekly will be on Monday, and then a special something on the weekend for next weekend.
Hey, man, I was one to give you for only practicing with CPUs, but it's working out, so just keep it going. The only thing I'll say is, I mean, I know you were about to, but start streaming it. People would love to see that.
Hey, man, I was trying to set it up, but I mean, I showed you the setup yesterday. It wasn't.
I guarantee you would probably, maybe Void on a lab day, but you would probably be the only person that people would want to see fight a CPU and waste their time watching a CPU. Just think about that and let that marinate. Let that marinate, bro.
Let it sizzle.
Yeah, I'm gonna like go into it once I get this set up. But for now, I have to package that desk, and then I have to return the desk, and then I have to buy a new desk all tonight. So
we'll get, you know what? It's 2025. It's the start of 2025. A lot of big things. Light will eventually stream, and it's going to be glorious. But not as glorious as our guest who we have coming on to today's episode.
Well, that just hurts.
Well, I mean, you're talking about a desk in comparison. I mean, I can't really put it into the same stratosphere as old.
My goat.
Old.
There he is.
Yeah.
My son, how was school? Did you pass that test?
I don't go to school anymore.
You know what's funny? I'm glad you said that. Dude, I literally was sitting next to Sparg0 talking to her. I'm just like, how do you balance like school and Smash? He like, looks at me. He's like, I'm 19. I was like, oh, you're not in high school anymore? He's like, no. I was like, oh, congratulations.
You haven't aged. Like, you haven't changed since your first growth spurt.
What?
I can agree with that.
Yeah,
really?
Your first growth spurt, like after the time skip, like it was like, damn, Sparg0 grew up, and it's like, you haven't changed since. You look very young.
Everyone tells me that.
Different is that like his hair looks actually like a FaZe player.
What does that mean?
You got fuckboy hair.
It just looked cool, yeah.
Is he about to say a slur? Well, I don't get it.
What?
FaZe up, man.
Nah, bro. I'm also Mexican. That's my hermano.
But yeah, everyone tells me that. Like, everyone tells me, like, I look the same, like, when I was 16 and right now.
Exactly, bro. You look like a young man, but you play like a grown-ass adult. Okay, Sparg0? Now, first things first, congratulations on, again, being number 1 on the Lumi ranking. They couldn't stop it. They couldn't rig it. They couldn't do nothing with you, my boy, because you are that guy and you brought that heat and you won the big tournament. It was crazy. Now that you've had a couple days to sit on it and let it settle, how do you feel about being a numero uno on this Lumi rank? And were there any placements in the top 10 that surprised you?
First of all, I feel very satisfied because I've been chasing this number 1 spot for like years.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first time I got ranked number 2 was in 2021, and it was pretty close. Like Leo was number 1, but I wasn't that far behind, and I've been chasing it since that, and I'm very happy to finally be able to like officially being number 1, because I feel like it's not the same if everyone thinks I'm number 1, but I'm not ranked number 1. Like it's not the same because it's not officially, like it's just like subjective, but there's like not a ranking that confirms that I'm the best.
True.
And well, for the rankings, I think it's weird that Twig got number 10. I didn't expect that.
Tell him.
like for me, that was the weirdest part, because I was expecting him to be like 6 or 7, and I think Radu was a little bit low. Like I was actually thinking Sonics was gonna be below him.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Because Radu won like a couple super majors in Japan. Like he was very consistent.
Yeah, the ranking is really weird when it comes to like how people like in Sonic's position works. It's like he only entered 5 tournaments, but he did very well at 3 of them. It's like it's really weird. I don't know how to describe that. I think Sonic's is like obviously a top 5 player, right? But like obviously you have to, like you said, you have to prove it. You have to go to events and do stuff. But it's just weird, like his positioning. I'm not saying he should be any lower or higher. I think he's the only player under me that I think is currently better than me. I'll say that. But it's just weird, like being high with 5 placements.
I mean, in my opinion, Sonics is like skill wise probably number 2, like behind me. But he doesn't ever get the chance to prove it because he only gets 2nd. But I don't think he's won a tournament last year.
Yeah, I mean, he also just doesn't go to as many tournaments as the other top 5 players.
Yeah, that's the thing too. He only went like to 5 tournaments like last season.
You know what? He didn't. Let say he didn't do himself any favors by ducking. Let's make big moves. Sonics, I know he's gonna get to you, and you know you're my boy. You know I love you. We're talking strictly game right now, strictly business. All right. If you didn't have COVID, you should have shown up. Put on one of them masks, vitamin C. All right, you'd be fine.
Was he sick?
He was sick. You know, back in my day, you have a stomach bug. Okay, I'm talking about one of them influenzas, really just get your gut going, all right? But guess what? You still show up and you still show out, unlike Cosmos's camera, which apparently is a piece of shit. But that's okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You know,
I think
at this point, Jim, just leave it.
I think he should have showed up. I mean, it's a Smash 4 special. People used to show up sick and win the tournament. I feel like that happened like 7 times in Smash 4.
Oh, yeah.
He would have won. He would have won his first major in a while.
Whoa. No. No, he would have gone in 2nd.
That's insane. Yeah, actually, I gotta ask, how many majors has Sonics won in general?
I think 1.
Yeah?
Or 2. No, 2. It was Gamo and Port.
Did he not? Was Smash Factor where he did bad, or did he win that?
No, he got 2nd.
Who did he get 2nd to? Shiny Mark?
Shiny Mark.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'm pretty sure he's only won 2 tournaments.
That's crazy, though. I mean, if we're comparing majors...
man.
Yeah,
it's okay.
If we're comparing majors to super majors, it's actually crazy because I don't think he's won any majors, but he's won 2 super majors. I don't think he's won.
He won Coin Box IRL.
The one before the first one, right?
Before, yeah, he won it over me.
Okay.
Okay. I don't really count that as a tournament because
Me neither.
yeah, but either way, he
yeah,
got 2
go on.
super major wins, which is crazy. I mean, I feel like people really underrate that. Like, I'll see stuff like, oh, this person only has 1 or 2 super major wins. Do you understand how hard that is? Like in
So
Smash
hard.
4, there was only like 6 people with like major wins. Like
And I was one of them.
Ultimate kind of. Ultimate have like they have way more people
Was
who
it?
won majors in this game. And it's actually crazy because I mean, I do think the game's easier to win a major in just because there's so many factors in Ultimate compared to Smash 4. But like still, it's crazy to even have 1 major win.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Oh my god, Cosmos.
What?
Listen, Cosmos.
It's hard.
I need
I mean,
no. I'm saying
Cosmos,
Cosmos. I
man.
need Cosmos to win a tournament so he can buy a camera because this is insane.
What
My
is
game was fine. I think it's probably because it was overheating because it was right in front of the sun. So that's probably my fault.
Okay, right on. All right, well,
I'll just leave it off for now.
let's talk more about Sparg0, okay? Because Sparg0, you just won the kickoff huge tournament, at least in NA. That was incredibly stacked, and I personally, I think you remember me telling you over there in the corner. I was like, look, I know you're number 1. I'm rooting for you to take this tournament, okay? It's like it's got to be you, Light, or Leo, okay? But because of your ranking, I was like, I need you to stamp that real quick, and you did just that. You got first, Hurt got second, Syrup third, Light fourth, and you see the rest right there. Talk to me about like did you have any matches that you felt like were particularly hard for you? Because like you really didn't drop a lot of games, dude. You kind of like pub stomped your way through this really stacked bracket of like a lot of talented folks. So I'm just curious if like, did you have a match that you felt was challenging?
no?
No, I did. My hardest match was with Zomba. It was 3-1, but I had to make a reverse restart the first game, and I also had to make a big comeback in the last game. I feel like it could have gone either way. Like I kind of chased him a couple times, so he was my hardest match, and every other set was like not easy, but also like not really hard.
Why was
Because-
Zombie your hardest match though?
Yeah,
All
we
right,
hear you.
Okay,
everyone,
Scuff
Margo, keep going. Why is Zomba the hardest for you? Why was he hardest?
Because he's obviously a great player, and I haven't been practicing Aegis that much because I've been focusing more on Cloud and Roy. And I don't know, when I play fast characters in Ultimate after playing Rivals, for some reason, they've I feel it's hard for me to get used to it. Like when I play Roy after playing Rivals, it's hard. Like I need some time to like make the right adjustments. And
Yeah.
it happened to me with Paramithra. Like after playing Rivals, where it's a really fast game, and then I play Aegis, I played the game like if I was playing Rivals, and it's kind of hard.
Do you feel like Cloud's just not as hard because like Cloud's like, he's your everyday character. It's kind of hard for you to forget.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like with
Yeah.
Cloud, it's not that hard because I've been playing Cloud like for years since Smash 4, so
Yeah.
it's
that makes
impossible
sense.
for me to forget how to play him.
I'm very surprised about the Hurt set. Not that you won it, but Hurt's always been someone that has at least given you a hard time. And it feels like because you were in position to lose versus her at Watch the Throne, and then you just kind of had like a burst where like you either figured something out or you just really didn't want to lose, and like you just played better when you just kind of destroyed him in the last 2 matches of Watch the Throne, and it feels like that carried on. Like he didn't seem hard for you. Did you think he was gonna be hard for you before you fought him this weekend?
Before this weekend, yes, but I don't know. When I got top 8, I was like, I don't think anyone can stop me right now because I feel like after I got ranked number 1, I was very confident in my play,
Yeah.
and I felt like no one was able to beat me because I felt like I had a weight off my shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
and I was playing so confident. So after I beat the boss, I was not worried about Hurt. I already knew I was gonna win.
Was
That
the
makes
Buzz a
sense.
filler match for you? You can be honest.
I mean,
It's a filler match for his matchup.
he's good, but I know the matchup really well, and I also know his playstyle. and we played like 5 times, and every single time I won 3-0. So
Yeah.
Every single time, jeez.
yeah,
It's just not a good matchup either.
it's really bad matchup. And
Yeah.
I just know how he plays. Like I know his play style pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Good to the buzz though. I mean, he did beat
Oh, yeah.
me and he did get 5th place. I am so happy I got my run back. I quite literally just forgot how to fight Rosalina.
Was it Olimar the whole time? Or sorry, was it Rosalina the whole time, or did they switch to Olimar set 2?
No, he
It was
was
both.
Rosa the entire time. He absolutely on me in the first set. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like I legitimately just forgot how to fight Rosalina. Because the buzz appears like once a year now. Like
Yeah, bro, he was cooking everybody that he was playing. It was crazy.
yes. So then I texted Nairo and then I watched my VOD that he beat me, and then I watched the VOD of when I beat him at MomoCon. I truthfully believe a lot of the stuff that I did in 2022 would still carry over today. Like it's still very good play. So I was like, let me just watch my 2022 VOD. Let me see what I did there. And I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. And then I 3-0'd him and I was like, I should have did this earlier.
That's how it goes sometimes, buddy. That's just how it goes.
I gotta be more disciplined in the sense of like watching sets before like I have to fight people in bracket. I'm not used to watching my losses, so I mean,
Me neither.
yeah, I don't like watching my losses. This is the first time I did it in a long time. I think the last time I actually watched one of my losses was like probably you, Sparg0. And what I will say is, every time I watch one of my losses, I win the next set, but I don't like doing it.
It's really hard. Like it's so painful to watch those sets.
Literally, when I was watching the Buzz set, I was watching it, I saw myself die, and then I just autopilot, turn it off, went on Twitter just to scroll, and I was like, what am I doing? Go back to the mod. It's like, you have to go back to the mod. It's so hard though.
Well, I personally think that was just a great start to the season. LNBM was 100% awesome, as it always is. I think Max and Joe run great tournaments, so I'm glad everybody always comes through and supports them. There was something else that I thought was like really crazy and is on your end again, Sparg0. How about Rivals, bro? Like you actually got second place in Rivals 2, beating some really like household names en route to getting second place. You beat Void, you beat Stango, you beat Boyko, you beat Switch, and you took Cake Assault to game number 5, who barely even lost any games throughout the tournament before he ran into you. So what's up with this Rivals thing, man? Like, is this something you're just like, I'm just a godlike gamer, so I'm just going to do this because it's easy?
I didn't even know
Or like,
he played the game.
Yeah, are you like actually putting effort into this, bro? Because that's like some fire results for less than a month of playing.
I mean, I've been putting some time into Rivals. I started playing like a month ago, a little bit less than a month, and I've been playing like almost every day. Like I actually like know how to play the game, but I still don't understand how it works. Like there's still like a lot of matchups I don't understand, and like there's a lot of mechanics I don't really know. But I feel like the reason I did really good was because I was playing against top players, and like I understand how they think. Like I feel like for me it's easier to play against top players because like I'm a top player in Ultimate, and I understand how top players think. So that's why I think that's also why I was really close to beating Cake Assault, because like every single option he did, I was like, okay, yeah, I get why he did that, and I know what to do against that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised I did pretty good considering I'm not good at that matchup, and I also don't know much about Rivals in general. But yeah, I didn't expect to do that good, and I was actually considering quitting. Like after I got second, I was like, if I don't do good in Ultimate, like if I don't place at least second, I'm gonna quit. But I ended up winning, so I'm probably gonna enter Genesis.
Okay, question. You did all this with like less than a month of practice and not even really understanding all the mechanics and matchups in the game. Are you here live on the Lights Out podcast willing to state that PM players just suck?
I mean, I don't know who are the PM players that I played, because in the top 8, I didn't know any of the players except for like Cake Assault and Boyko.
This propaganda is insane.
He didn't know you. I'm saying.
Oh, I knew you were gonna say that shit.
He said he didn't know Void.
Okay, I knew who Boyd was.
Yeah, I won't lie. When you
World's greatest game of who?
when I saw that tweet when you were like top 30 in the world in Rivals, I was like, good at Marvel Rivals. I got to see that Wolverine. Bro,
No.
you acted as Marvel Rivals. I was like, damn, Sparg0's about to start making real money, bro.
No, I don't like that game.
Really? That game's fun.
It is fun.
Do you like shooter games?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No, I don't like it. I'm not good at that.
You're a peaceful kid. I respect that.
Yeah, just a big ass sword, and
Yeah.
But no, that's really cool that you're good at Marvel Rivals, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, 1,000%, bro. And I think
Marvel Rivals.
I'm looking forward to seeing how your Rivals run and your Smash run goes at Genesis. I think you can balance them. Like I even said it when I was commentating with Alsty. I was saying like there's been players in the past who are able to balance similar, platform fighters and play them both in the tournament and have a lot of success. I think you're obviously capable of that because you're just talented and smart. So I hope you end up doing that. Now, we did, of course, discuss how you got number one, but how about the fact that number one, I'm going to keep it real with you, Sparg0, okay? I'm very happy you're number one, okay? But if I'm being real, how long will you maintain that number one? And that's not because you're not good enough. It's because, once again, Japan is spawning tournaments out the wazoo while we're over there competing at Let's Make Big Moves. Akola strikes again, and he just won over there. Mamasuma, top one or whatever. Huh?
You mean Maesuma?
Yeah,
Maesuma.
yeah, he won that shit, bro. It's crazy. He wins that. Dormigi second. Raiki, who I think is just a fraud, no offense, gets third, and then Mia gets fourth, okay? So I'm already seeing that they got this. And you think this is bad? Did you know that Smash Awesome counted for this ranking season 2? And I think that was at least an A tier.
Yeah, it did.
It did. That was at least an A tier. And then guess what?
S tier.
S tier, even worse. And then guess what? They got another tournament coming up. Here, let me see if I can find it real quick.
It
was S plus.
I think so.
Oh my god!
And like
another tournament coming up.
It's funny because I was thinking about it this morning, and I realized that
another S tier. Go ahead.
Japan has a monthly S tier, like every single month. Do you know Sumabato? It's a monthly tournament, and it's always like an A tier or S tier. Like combine that with like the other Maizuma, Shibukeki, like the other tournaments. They have a lot of tournaments going
Imagine if we had, that was basically us when we had 2GG, bro.
Yo,
they just have Japanese 2GG right now.
They do.
Nah, this is worse than 2GG. This is not every month. This is like
every couple weeks.
Dude, it's so skewed. It's like, and this is I'm glad Smash is alive and thriving in Japan. That's not the complaint, but it's so skewed. They're about to hit their third S tier, and we just got done with one. Like, when is the next NAS tier? Does anybody know?
Genesis?
Yes, that's in February.
Wait, but like
over a month from now.
Okay, Smash Awesome was December 21st. And
Smash Awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? Smash okay. And then they had an A tier. I don't know the name of it because it's literally all in Japanese, but it was on December 28th. They had an A tier. And then yeah, it's Japanese word 54 SP. I don't know. And then okay. Yeah, that was literally a week later in A tier. And then they had Maizuma, which is January 4th. Oh my god, this is ridiculous, bro.
Like Mia and Akola are they're plotting. They're plotting right now
against me
because, of course, they're against you. You know, they're both pissed off that how dare this young buck from Mexico usurp the talented appointed players from the Japan Council. This wasn't ever supposed to happen, but it did, and that's why they're rooting against you. I don't know how we do. I don't know how do we battle this, Sparg0. How do we defend number one? Do you have to win every event you go to?
I have to, and I'm probably gonna have to travel to Japan, like to Kagurabi, and if I don't win anything besides that, I don't think it's gonna be enough. Like, I feel like I have to win Level Up Expo, and
that'll be a P tier.
Do good at Genesis, and that'll probably be enough, maybe.
Okay, so you're thinking LMBM, win, do good at Genesis, and win Level Up Expo. And go to Japan, too.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a lot.
That's the best. It is, bro. I don't get this. Also, on a topic of not Japan, but I guess Japan and America, bro, the amount of Steves that were around this weekend is insane, bro. This was the first LMBM that allowed Steve, and there were so many upsets this weekend from Steve. It was so crazy.
Steve was
Like,
cooking.
yeah, like it's getting worse. I'll say that much.
It is getting worse. But the last time I tried to say something about Steve, I got canceled. So I'm not gonna say anything.
Thinking like, bro, Akola, Rocky, and Carmelo Anthony, like all three of them. I don't get it. Like, there was literally 3 of them there, bro. Mia got 4th to a Steve. And I don't care. I don't know much about Rocky. He could probably be very good.
No, he's one of the only people I will say, I think I watch him, I'm like, your characters are carrying you to the promised land, young man.
Oh, well, I mean, if we're going to be direct, I think all of them are carried, and I don't care what anyone thinks of my opinion because you're all carried. But this is the point, though. Mia has to be the most experienced person in the entire world versus Steve, right?
I would say he's up there. Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's me.
You think it's you?
Yeah.
I think experienced versus like really like good against can be 2 different things.
I still think I play all of the suits. Like,
but he fought Mia. I mean, he fought Akola at every major at some point, and it's the best Steve experience. Also, you play Cloud. You're a cheater in that matchup.
The matchup, Steven.
Is it?
It is.
That's not how you present it. Not on the camera.
We back, baby.
He was so taken aback by that.
Trying to get me, but I shadow myself back into existence.
Yeah, but yeah, no. The point is, he's one of the most experienced versus Steve, and even him is losing to a different Steve because Steve can just play so differently. Doesn't really matter how experienced you are; they can do anything they want. I'm just saying. Characters. I'm just saying.
It is.
This guy is really not happy he lost to Syrup.
That's a fact.
But you beat Onin on it.
Carried ass. I'm so tired of people saying he plays Ness. He plays Ness versus the mid-level players.
That's very
crazy.
funny. All right.
I will say Syrup is getting very good, very fast. He's definitely the best Steve in the States right now.
I'll be real. He's been the best Steve in the States for like over a year now. I just feel like it wasn't acknowledged.
He's been improving really fast.
Yeah, he's great. We like Syrup around here, guys, just in case anybody's wondering.
I don't like any of them. I don't know why. I'm saying Stop saying we. I don't like Steve May.
All right, I'm just throwing it out there that it's something to consider. I apologize. But nonetheless, I think this is going to be a good year for Smash. I got a good feeling about that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think something's just in the air. Something's brewing, and I think we're going to see a lot of great I mean, Leo's back where he belongs, ranked top 10. I'm sure my GOAT's going to get, a couple big wins throughout the season. Now, one of the things I think is completely fraudulent, Sparg0, you might be closer to this. I don't know who's closer right now, but apparently there's something about like Mia's like a major win away from passing Leo or something like that. But it needs to be defined that a major win and super majors, wholly different. Hey,
I thought they were already tied.
Wait, have you seen the super major list, like the major winners?
I have not.
So Leo has like 17 super majors and 7 majors, and Mia has like the same amount, but like complete opposite, like 17 majors and 7 super majors.
Ah, wow.
But Mia is like 1 major away from surpassing Leo.
I don't find that impressive when you have one every week. I'm just saying. I think he should have more.
I agree with that statement, actually. How do you have something every single week and you're just now catching up?
Imagine Sumabato was in Mexico at the beginning of the ultimate lifespan. Leo would have 35 majors right now.
Yeah, bro, I'd be eating $2 tacos every day of my life.
Big facts, bro. Don't let anyone trick you. GOAT is still GOAT. The rankings are a good, good little guide. But at the end of the day, we all know what it really is about.
Sparg0, what is Sparg0's like? What's your next event?
Probably Genesis.
Bro, we have to go to more.
But
is there anything like?
Is there any tournament before Genesis?
Bro, you're literally going to an invitational next weekend. It doesn't count towards ranking though, right?
Bro, it better. Anyways, you should go to a tournament this weekend called Afterburner. If you go, I'll go.
This weekend?
Yeah, I think Sonics is going.
Nah.
What the Afterburner?
He said
What is
Sonic?
that?
Nah.
I'm all good.
Nah.
I'll wait to beat him at Genesis.
I'm just saying, bro. We show up, it goes from like B tier to like A plus.
Oh yeah, that's interesting because I remember you guys like did that at like after the Supernova. You all were like motivated, and you all like went like 2 weeks later to Riptide, and you just took that from like a B to an S tier or something crazy like that.
Yeah, we have the ability
P-tier.
to make tournaments bigger. Yeah, P tier. We have the ability to make tournaments bigger, and I do think we should take advantage of that ability.
We have to travel a lot for that. While in Japan, they just have to take like 30-minute trains for that.
Yeah, bro. I took a train from 42nd Street to 43rd Street.
Why do you sound so angry?
I'm so salty. I don't know why. I was good, and then I saw 3 tournaments in the span of 2 weeks, and I was like, "What the man?"
Yeah, it's pretty harsh. I'm not gonna lie. I will say this though. I do think the events that we will be having will be outstanding. Like you could even throw in Battle of BC. I think so. Yeah, that's the thing.
Are you going, Sparg0?
Yeah, I'm going into that.
All right, I gotta go.
Just should go.
Okay, Sparg0, what if I told you this? Okay, this is going to be a true friendship test, okay? Here we go. So Battle of BC, right? What if I said that TO directly hates me, okay? And he just wants me obliterated from the community. Would you still support his event?
Like, why? Like,
I'm just asking, if I told you that he hates me and he wants me obliterated from the community, would you still support his event?
I would.
I'd honestly fund the compendium.
I mean,
Sparg0, do you want me to tell you why you should go?
why?
Because last time that we didn't go to an event because someone hated the other person, we lost the entire community.
Well, that's not on me, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
The correct answer.
The whole community.
The last time we did that, we lost $1 million in prize money.
The correct answer was to say.
For the foreseeable future.
The correct answer was to say, absolutely, I'm still going. Now, I know you're not going to say it just like that, but you should have said it in some capacities like that. Get your money, mom. By the way, that was a hypothetical. I have no beef with that TO at all. I just want to see what you say. I know Lights bitch ass don't care, but that's fine. But no, that's great. I think
you want me to fill my community twice?
I'm kidding, man. Dang. I can't do hypotheticals. It's good for
honestly,
clickbait.
if the TO likes EE, I'm not going.
Well said.
That's a red flag.
We'll never see you at Throne, man. That was a good run. We had a good run, kid. We had a good run. That's crazy. Nah, but BC will be nice. I think Genesis, Level Up Expo. Okay, so yeah, we got some events in there. And I think Japan will probably travel over as well. So when they show up, you can farm them here and you can farm them there when you go as well.
Yeah, and I also think Crown is coming back this year.
Yes.
Oh, I like Crown.
Crown
cool.
and Port.
Port's 100% coming back. Don't ask me how I know that.
Well, they said they were, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they have a date locked in. How about that? Now what? Now what?
Well, they said they would. Not tell us
They said they were coming back.
Wait, so are you going to Japan during Golden Week?
I think so. I want to go to Kagaribi because that's like once a year, I think, or two.
How long are you staying in Japan for?
Probably a week or two. Because before Kagaribi, there's Delta, which is like another P tier. So it's like 2 P tiers back to back.
Okay, so Cosmos, are you going to Japan this year?
I'm still unsure, but I'm planning on it. I'm like 70% sure I'm going.
If you go, are you going for 2 weeks?
No, I'll go for like a month.
Oh, okay. No, that works fine because I want to go for 2 weeks. But if I go, I will probably be bringing some people, and there needs to be a good mix of Smash and exploring because I just want to play Smash. But the people I bring are not going to want to be interested in Smash, so I'm gonna need some help on that department.
You definitely need to go. Do you know how there's a lot of Japanese players that shit talk you?
Yeah.
Wait, what? I didn't know that.
Huh?
They trying to say Kananabe's better? What kind of shit are they
What?
saying?
Oh, it's the stupidest shit in the world. It's like Light wouldn't do good versus Ice Climbers. Okay, tell me you're gonna rig the bracket without telling me you're gonna rig the bracket, my dude. And then it's like, okay, Ice Climbers, but I fought like, haven't I fought like 95% of their top players or like 98? Like, I think I have a winning record on most.
Nah,
Japanese
bro.
players.
You haven't fought the ones that've been around since Brawl.
Well, I fought Akola. I fought Mia. Bro, I don't know. I feel
You
like
haven't fought Raru.
yeah, of course.
Raw.
Everyone wants to see me play the other -2 matchup, you know? It's like that just seems to be the common trend. But I mean, I'm not really scared of Japan. I'm willing to go over there. I'm willing to lose to Raru to win the matchup because I know if I lose to him once or twice, I'll figure it out just as I did Mia, you know? Like it's a learning curve, but like losing matchups are learning curves, you know? That's just how it is. But
Very true.
I feel like, you know, like I'm usually winning versus Japanese players.
Yeah.
Like Dor, Migi, Mia as of late. I haven't fought Akola in like 2 years. Hurt. Like I can't really think of who likes making me like super struggle, you know?
Yeah, I feel like you and Sparg0 are like two of our best NA defenders at just tearing down Japan when they kind of, you know what I'm saying, they get a little too big for their britches.
Nah, see,
Put 'em
you
in
see
check.
that's pissing me off right there. Someone in the chat said light dodge in Japan. You want to know a fun fact? Hurt walked by me before I fought Syrup and said, "I don't want to fight you." These are dodging me. They're scared of me.
True, I was there.
Well, you weren't there, but
I was in the venue.
He existed.
on top of that, I mean, Japan doesn't actually hate me. Top players in America and top players in Japan think alike. You know, there's all like that debating, but real top players, we all with each other. We all think each other are very funny. I love the Japan top players.
Yeah, Hurt's great. Ever since he came to CFL and we taught him
I
about
love
boy.
Hurt.
Yeah, Hurt's 10 out of 10. He's a good fella.
What did you say, Sparg0?
I love Hurt. He's so chill.
Oh yeah, Hurt's awesome. I need my run back with Asimo. That is true.
Yeah, you got to get that get back, bro. You can't let him have one over you.
But I do like Asimo. Like I said, he's one of the top players. The one of the Japanese top players I respect the most. I think him making Ryu work is crazy.
Love it. Now, Sparg0, we're not gonna keep you too much longer. Do you plan? Listen, I know you say you don't have anything to do until Genesis, right? But remember what I told you when we were hanging out at Let's Make Big Moves? You need to come to LA and we need to go to the phase house. Okay? We need to phase up. All right? Because we're gonna make sure that they re-sign you for at least 3 more years. Okay? You know how much those freaking crazy content creators are getting? Don't worry about that. Okay? They give you half that, you're set for life. All right? So
Wait, I gotta ask about
quiet. With your manager EE here, all right? We're gonna take you to the top, kid. Are you ready?
All right.
Damn
I'll see
right.
what I can do.
Damn right. All right, like, go ahead.
You just want a VIP pass in the face house. You're not slick. Anyways, I gotta ask, without details on your contract, have you been on one contract or multiple phase contracts?
One.
That's awesome. That is really cool. I'm happy for you. But yeah, that's all I want to know.
That's sick.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
That's also like very promising.
You have to understand, Sparg0, they saw potential. You know, you remember, I don't know if you remember this, when I was on Beast Coast with Charles, and Charles was going on a 10-minute rant about this if we let him, I kept telling them, hey, let's sign Sparg0. Sparg0. But the guy at the time who was in charge was like, well, I don't know, is his results good enough? I'm like, you don't understand. All this kid does is play Wi-Fi during pandemic. He's going to destroy at Summit. And he won Summit. And then I just remember the guy saying like, yeah, he's not responding to my DMs now. I was like, it's too late, you fool. Oh my
Wait,
God.
What did you tell them that? 2021?
I told him that like 2 months before Summit happened, and you won that Summit.
Oh, okay. That was
You were still a free agent.
I was still free agent.
Oh,
but yeah.
I
was
knew.
biggest fumble.
Biggest fumble.
That was a fumble, but I'll tell you what wasn't fumble. The rankings, they were correct. You're number one. You validated with a W, and I'm proud of you, my man. So thank you as always for joining the podcast. Your insight and personality is always appreciated. You don't realize how funny this kid is. He streams too. Check him out all the time. Sparg0, tell them where they can find you.
I stream on Twitch a lot. You can find it's called Sparg0, and yeah, that's it.
That is it. Gentlemen, any closing words for our guests?
You are now one of the top 3 GOATs, bro. Congratulations. You, Leo, and Zachary. That's the top 3 right now.
Oh. Zachary?
I'm coming for you.
Why'd you say Zachary like you was confused? Of course Zachary's one of the GOATs.
Why?
Oh.
Because he's Zachary.
Zachary, what do you mean?
That's needed.
Okay, fine.
Night phenomenon, smash phenomenon, content phenomenon. Japanese, he's Zachary.
Dude,
Okay,
never even top 3. Like,
All right, so
all right, my bad.
we'll table this discussion for another time, but definitely more to digest with that.
Just take the goddamn compliment, bro.
Okay, my bad.
I love it. Sparg0, thanks for joining us, man. 10 out of 10, and I look forward to talking to you soon, buddy.
Hey. Yeah, thank you for inviting me.
Of course. See ya.
Take it easy, bro.
Bye.
Oh, love that kid. All right. That is an amazing guest. As always, we love Sparg0 around these parts, guys. But this episode is far from finished because we still have another event to talk about. And let me tell you something. The folks who came up with the format for this event that are going to come on here and explain it to you, well, let me tell you something. They must have been on something, and it might have been the sponsor for today's episode. I'm talking about our friends over at VIA, okay? It's 2025, all right? New you, new year, full of possibilities. Don't let the bad times of 2024 bring you down. You can't let it do it. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, VIA is a Swiss Army knife of wellness dedicated to harnessing the natural benefits of hemp to create high-quality wellness products. Whether you're looking to improve your sleep, focus, recovery, or add a little pep to your step, or just get high, baby, VIA is something for you. They're well-renowned for their award-winning THC and THC-free gummies and vapes, THCA flower, soothing topicals, and calming drops. All crafted from the highest quality hemp sourced from trusted, independently owned American farms. And the best part, guys, legally they ship to nearly all states in the US in discreet packaging, of course, with no medical card required. That's right. So if you're 21 plus, check out the link to VIA in our description and use the code LIGHTSOUT to receive 15% off and get yourself a free gift from VIA if you're a new member. After your purchase, of course, they'll ask you where you heard about it, and you better tell them you heard about it from Big Phil and the gang, the Lights Out crew, trying to get you high. Yeah, all right, right on. So, yeah, VIA, thanks. All right, let's get our next guest in here.
I love candy.
Me too. Hold on, I gotta add you guys to this DM because we're just gonna call.
is this event not ranked?
It is ranked, you idiot.
Oh, well.
Is it? I didn't see it on Lumarank.
Don't worry about it. It's ranked. All right, I know things. Okay, I added you guys, so we're gonna leave this call and join this other call. You ready?
All right.
All right, here we go. Oh, perfect. Wow,
Oh,
look at
shit.
that. Look at that professionalism.
Hey.
Hello. How's
Okay,
it going, guys?
You look better than us.
I'm saying, right? Good God. We suck.
He's the tech wizard. He's got the setup.
I love it. Well, how are you? First of all, please, to our guests, thank you for coming on. If you guys aren't familiar, these are the guys who are behind the Reaper Invitational. This is going to feature Light, Tweak, Gluto, Cosmos, Syrup, Zomba, Ouch, and Mr. E. Brand new invitational type format. And the format's a little different. And by a little different, I mean a lot different. So we thought it'd be a great idea to have the masterminds behind it come on to the show. So give them a warm welcome. And they can kind of explain like what went through their head in crafting this. Because let me tell you, gentlemen, I am very curious. The floor is yours.
Well, yeah. Thanks, man, for having us on, giving us a chance to talk about the format. We're super excited to show it off in a cool live event, especially with such great talent. You know, obviously Cosmos and Light both coming through, and EE on the mic. So a great way to show it off. But you know, we've been working on it for a couple of years, off and on. It was something we were going deep into, like looking up new ranking systems and new ways to run tournaments. We've been running tournaments in New York for the last few years, 4 years, I guess. And like 2 years ago, I stumbled upon this research document called the Reaper Tournament System, and I told Scott, I was like, "Dude, this is insane. We could run an ultimate event for this."
Well, if I remember correctly, the research paper was incomplete. Is that right? Or there was some part of it that didn't work?
Yeah, they had
right?
never run it in real life, and there were some issues at like the end of the research doc because they had never done it in person with a group. So there was some stuff for us to kind of innovate and adapt to Smash Ultimate.
Okay.
But so we teased this event 2 years ago at one of our regionals, High Res.
I watched that event and I remember that tease, by the way.
I remember you commenting on it.
Yes, I
on
remember
your
this.
stream. You're like, these guys, I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if these guys know what they're talking about.
You were half right.
So we teased it at that event, but there was still a lot that needed to get done. We just kind of wanted to start to get the idea out there.
Yeah.
Then we teased it again a year later at MaxRes, the follow-up event, kind of with an end-of-year date in mind. We were probably going to run it smaller scale, still 8 people, but keep it to tri-state locals. And then we had been involved with some brands. We work a lot with Beast Coast on a bunch of their events, and they were looking to run some events into 2025. And I was like, Cav, formerly working at Beast Coast, I was like, you got to let us run this. So they helped us out, got us the support we needed, and allowed us to fly out a bunch of top talent and players. So got lucky.
I love that. I'm glad it all worked out. Now, the actual formats of the Reaper format itself, let's just pretend I'm a gym off the street. I just walked in. Well, how does this work? You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything right now. Can you give us a good breakdown on that?
Sure. Yeah, so I have some graphics. I'll bring these up real quick. Give me a sec.
Please.
Let me know if that's coming through fine on your end.
And got it.
Okay, sweet. So I guess quick, just because I have this up before I hop directly into the format. These are the players you mentioned before, but
Yep.
Tweak, Gluto, Light, Cosmos, Samba, Syrup, Ouch, and Mr. E. And then as well as where's my mouse at? There we go. Talent-wise, so we're going to have you, EE, with Turn Down for Walt, Gimmer, which we're super excited to have him on board because obviously a guy that loves doing innovative stuff in Ultimate, ran his creative invitationals and tournaments. Max Ketchum, Tri-State GOAT. And then a bunch of the 12G guys, and then Waidu and Montneva, which are 2 local Tri-State casters that cast all of our monthlies and regionals.
Yep.
But anyway, so format-wise, which this is just some backstory. All this is available at 12g.gg/Reaper. But the whole point of this format is to maintain the brevity, how fast a double elimination tournament runs, while giving the ranking precision of round robin. So you have first, second, third, fourth, instead of people tying for 5th and 7th. It's all the way through. So this is going to happen in 2 acts, which if you were to compare this to a normal invitational like the summit events or something, you have phase 1, which is pools, and then that goes into a double elim bracket. In this, kind of thematically, we're calling those acts. And in Act 1, it's pretty straightforward. It's a reverse single elimination bracket. So you're going to have 4 matches that are happening in your scene 1, or what you would call a round 1, where the winners of those sets are immediately going to progress to Act 2. But the losers are going to continue to play matches up until we have 2 players remaining. Now, on that graphic, it kind of shows the Reaper selection. So for that final match of Act 1, the winner of that match is going to become our Reaper, and the loser is going to be eliminated from the event. They're done.
Oh, damn.
They don't move on to Act 2. So it's pretty brutal. But
Don't
so
let that be you,
it's fun.
Cosmos. Go ahead.
It won't be. It's gonna be Tweak.
Yeah, it's curious because putting a player in the Reaper slot enables for like something crazy to happen in Act 2. We could get a run where, you know, they're on the line and all the matches are going to be streamed all best of 5, so we're going to see everything unfold, but that Reaper could just have the craziest losers run of all time. They have to make it through everybody in the bracket. So that's Act 1, pretty straightforward.
Yep.
Where I think some of the confusion and people have some questions is when you get into Act 2. So there's just some language up here, but I'll kind of give you the short and quick. So after Act 1, players are going to move down into Act 2. They're either going to be safe, at risk, or that Reaper that's moving down. Now, whether you're safe or at risk, that's determined by if you've beaten a player that still remains in the bracket. So let's say you won your first round match, you're moving in safe right away. But let's say you were seed 1, for example, and you beat seed 8. You move in safe, but then that Reaper match happens and seed 8 gets eliminated. Now you haven't beaten anybody that's still in the bracket. You are then at risk.
Ooh.
So there's some potential for these high seeds if they beat an easy player, right? Everybody here is going to be good.
Yeah.
They might be put on the chopping block really early. So everybody's results kind of matter in how this bracket progresses.
And there's definitely a lot of potential for like when there are upsets that can totally change the dynamic of how all that flows. You know, there's a typical flow state if it works exactly according to seeding, but then there's like, you don't even know what happens because everything is so dynamic with the lists we're tracking for who beats who when you're populating 3 rounds down into Act 2.
Right.
You know, it's impossible to predict that far ahead.
And this is just going to continue to progress this kind of cycle of, all right, who's safe, who's at risk. The at-risk players play. The loser of that match plays the Reaper. Someone's eliminated. We repeat until we have our champion. So yeah, it's super variable. It's not like you can look at a bracket and have predictions. It really depends on who wins and who loses all the way throughout.
Yeah. You can think of Act 2 as sort of mini brackets of at-risk players, the ultimate loser of which faces off against the current Reaper. If they beat the Reaper, they become the new Reaper and the Reaper's eliminated. If they lose to the Reaper, they're eliminated.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
That's pretty much the short and thin of it.
Why, you had a question?
Yeah. Okay. So there's obviously a Reaper. So at risk, just so I clarify, at risk, that only means you're just at risk of fighting another at risk player. You're not actually at risk unless you lose that match, which puts you up against a Reaper. So if you were safe and you were to lose to, do safe people only get matched up against other safe players, or do they get matched
They
up
don't
against
play at
other
all
players?
until they're at risk.
And they'll only be at risk if the person they beat last was not in bracket anymore.
Is eliminated.
If they beat it all, is eliminated from bracket. Yep, exactly.
And at-risk players play each other, but if there may only be one at-risk player, then it goes straight to an at-risk versus Reaper match.
Okay, yeah, because anyone who's at risk basically goes directly into the Reaper, and the Reaper basically just sits and waits to see who falls into him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's like a little candidacy match kind of thing where it's like we got 2 at-risk players, they're going to play, loser hits the Reaper, or if there's just one person, it's straight and do a Reaper match. Yeah,
Does this just go until there's one safe player and one Reaper? Or
at the end, it would get down to where there's one at-risk player and one Reaper left, and that would be our final match, the final Reaper match.
Okay, so okay, that makes sense. I understand it.
And I mean, the one other little quirk, I mean, it's a little too in the weeds, but like if there is no at-risk players, you would then look at who is on the Reapers list, right? There's like a separate tracking mechanism for like, what if there's nobody left to pull from? And then you look at who has beaten the Reaper.
Right. The interesting thing about this format is, so this research document is like very dense, you know, and we were really trying to condense the information into important blurbs. And the main one being that if you haven't beaten anybody that's still in bracket, you're at risk. And what that really means behind the scenes is we're tracking who everyone has beaten so that we can make a quick calculation to see who plays next. In the document, they're called like respect lists. And that's what kind of Scott's referring to is the Reaper's respect list, who has beaten the Reaper previously. But there's some other nuanced pieces too, just in this like additional information, just to kind of talk about how this bracket is set up, because there's some additional questions. We're going to base this entirely off of the most recent Lumi rank, right? Came out just at LMBM, so that will determine our seeding, which is going to have some interesting round ones if you look at it. And that's what Scott was also talking about here, where if there are no at-risk players, they play directly into the Reaper. But also, when there are more than 2 at-risk players, which can happen depending on who loses to who. Let's say you have 3, your 2 highest seeds will play first. The loser of that will then play into that 3rd player, and then the loser faces the Reaper. But yeah, any questions? If you guys want to nitpick or anybody in chat's asking questions.
Well, I'm just thinking if it's going to be based off Limerang, that means I'm probably going to be the last seed because I didn't go to anything last year, and Light's going to be first seed. So you already know we're about to, be the first.
You will play round 1.
Oh no!
Oh, I don't like that. I think we can all agree on one thing. We're pretty if Gluttony becomes the Reaper. That's literally the first thing I thought about. Like, so there's this one guy who's just designated to. That's really what it is. There's just one guy who's designated to get rid of everyone for the rest of the bracket.
Yeah,
right.
And it's like kind of with the process, it's like you can't lose unless you don't get eliminated from the tournament unless you lose to the Reaper whenever the Reaper format starts. So it's like at some point Gluto's gonna have to fight a Reaper, even if he's not doing so well, and he's probably gonna win that set. So at some point he's gonna be the Reaper.
But the thing is, it's also it's a mentality thing too. You have to think about that as well, because in a normal bracket, when you're in the loser side of things, you're like, okay, my back's up against the wall, and you might be scared to make decisions that you would normally go for because that could be the end of your bracket run. But even though Reaper is the end of your bracket one, if you lose, you might look at it in a different position. Like, just because the title there and like the concept of the Reaper format, you might actually look at it like, instead of this being my last match, you could just be ruining other people's brackets. Like, you could be something that other people are scared.
This is his last match. This is his last match.
The title can carry weight to it, is what I'm implying.
Yeah, well, you become like a scary entity that people have to face off against. You are.
Yeah.
Right. Kind of could be a power up, and with the broadcast too, there's going to be a lot of elements that play into how we show off how a player's a Reaper. You'll see on the 19th, but it is scary. It's like we have Syrup in this bracket. You see him drop down right away to become the Reaper. Now you have this Demon Steve that's sitting there waiting to eliminate you on the chopping block. It's like, we don't know how this is going to play out. And that's why we wanted to run it, to see how people react, how they feel about the format, not only from like a bracket analysis kind of way, but emotionally, like what does it do to players? You gotta
have like a prop scythe on set. So like,
don't you worry.
I think this is amazing. I think one thing I really love about Smash is invitationals, but I like the fact that you guys are willing to take a chance and try something new out. And it's not just trying something new out, it's actually interesting. Like, this is actually an interesting way to play Smash. And I think sometimes people will be a little hesitant to try something new, but considering that we've had over 6 years of this game, we know like the basic status quo for a lot of things. I welcome change. I embrace change. And I'm glad you guys came up with something that's actually very unique and quite fitting. The fact that you kind of had like the bones of it and you really just kind of assembled and polished it up nicely. I think this is going to go super well. I'm extra excited now. Like, what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. I was a little confused at first. That's why I'm glad you guys came on the show. But now Big Phil understands what's going on and I can't wait.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, we're glad to have you. It's been a long road, long process. And I think, all the players are coming, seem pretty chill, like all the talent that's going to be there. So I think it's going to be a good celebration, a good test, little bit of an experiment, but some really good Smash too at the end of the day. That's the most important thing, is the matches are going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So,
and not to mention a nice controlled environment. Brookland is a space we're very familiar with. We run almost all of our events out of there.
Yep.
We have full control over what we're doing there. It's going to be really fun for everybody.
Yeah. It's going to be a good time.
Where's it going to be streamed on, actually? I'd like to throw that up.
Yeah. We'll be co-streaming it on our channel, so 12G_live on Twitch, and then also on VG Bootcamp.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, yeah, Gimmer's going to be there. That makes sense.
Wait,
And Gimmer ain't showing up nowhere unless it's on his channel. Go ahead.
so if two at-risk players fight each other, does the person who wins still stay at risk?
No.
Well, now they're considered safe because they've beaten
A
that
player
other
that's still in
at-risk
bracket.
player. But now
Oh,
if
because
that
it's still in the
at-risk player,
bracket.
Right.
but then if that at-risk
So
player
you
loses to the
can-
Reaper,
So you can beat someone who's at risk, and then whoever loses that at risk match goes into the Reaper, and then the Reaper could win. So that means that the person that you beat is not in the bracket, so you're still at risk.
But if the person that you beat becomes the Reaper, then you stay in the safe position.
Right.
Right.
So it really matters, like who wins and loses. It changes your entire run. Even if you're kicking everybody's ass, like it could change it right away. Where you're like, oh, damn, I'm on the chopping block because I beat the people who were weaker than me, and they're now out of the bracket.
The only time you play when you're safe is literally the first act.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Or you could play your first set, lose, win your next set, and then you become safe. So you could, go 2-0 in Act 1.
Okay, well, all I know is as long as I keep winning, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
that's true.
That's
Exactly.
literally how it works. I
That's
think
how
this
every bracket works.
is awesome, and I think this is going to go really, really well. We'll definitely, because I know it's not this weekend, it's next weekend, so we'll touch on it even more we'll touch on it again on the next episode too. But no, this is awesome. I appreciate you guys taking the time to explain this. Obviously, my chat was digging it. Light and Collins are digging it. I'm digging it. So I think it's going to be a great event. I'm excited. Something different. Love it.
we love to try to innovate. We run a monthly series right now where we mostly experiment with our side brackets, because people
Sure.
don't like when you mess too much with the main brackets. But we've always wanted to look for an opportunity to really push something in a controlled setting, and I think we found our opportunity here with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for all coming out. It's going to be a good time to have the Lights Out guys around at Brookland. So
Absolutely.
we
It's
appreciate
gonna
it.
be
Thanks
fun,
for inviting us.
And it's going to be chilly, so I'll be bundled up. I'll be inside a lot.
We got good heat. All right.
Okay, there we go. That's all I needed to hear. It's going to be awesome, and we're looking forward to it so much.
Just so you know, it's a 2-day event, right?
This is a 1-day event for bracket. The first day, we're just filming some content with everybody, a little bit of media pictures for the broadcast, little mixer for everybody. But just 1-day event. It'll timeline wise, singles is probably only going to run 6 hours roughly, maybe a little bit longer. It's not quite the same as double elim, so you can't entirely project it, but it won't be too crazy long. And then we are going to do some stuff after singles that we haven't announced yet, just something fun for all the players that will stream online as well.
W, love it. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us and giving us that breakdown. We eagerly look forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
Hey, thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you guys. We'll see you next Sunday on the 19th.
All right.
Yes, sir.
See you then, buddy. Right.
Have a good one, guys.
You too. Wow. First of all, love their explanations. That was freaking awesome. Secondly, amazing how them two sitting in that room together sharing an audio setup is better than anything we've ever had audio-wise. It's amazing.
To be fair,
It's because they're white. We're black. We don't know audio.
I almost got away with it too.
When will it end? Nah, that's gonna be good. I'm glad they took the time to come on, man. Like, new format like that. We definitely wanted to have them show us some love. So that's gonna be great. But 10 out of 10, first episode of 2025. Got a lot done, guys. We talked about LMBM. Japan is, once again corrupt with their attempts at generating A and S tiers out the wazoo. Sparg0's #1. Tweet got robbed. Lights of Four Horsemen. Reaper's coming. Great.
New Year, same
that
hate.
audio.
Yeah. True shit.
New Year, same hate.
Same hate. Yes, that's actually very valid and very true because we're just some hateful ass. But I'll tell you what, if we're your, then we hope you spend your 2025 enjoying our weekly podcast. Guys, this has been Lights Out, episode number 88. Too great to hate and never late. So, we'll see you on the next episode. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibes. 2025, baby. Your boys are here. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.